Hi, Caroline.
Hi, Jordan. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm good. We're back for another, I almost said spooky season, but we're well out of spooky season.
So, fun fact, traditionally, winter was a time to share spooky stories around the campfire.
Incredible.
And I think we need to bring that energy back.
Absolutely.
So, we're in the traditional spooky season. We've never left it.
Incredible. So what I'm hearing is that our next episode, all of the listeners are going to hear fire crackles in the back because we're just going to be around a campfire.
Yeah.
Incredible. Incredible. I am so excited specifically to talk to you about this story.
Okay.
So, I don't know. And this can be one of those silly little things where you're like, I don't know why you wanted to tell me that. But I just, like, literally through the research, I was like, I cannot wait.
You know I'm a slut for history.
I know.
Let's get this on.
I think that's part of the reason I'm so excited, because this hotel has a rich history.
Ooh, a hotel.
It is a hotel.
Okay.
It's exciting. Not only is it our first hotel, it is our first hotel in a mining town.
Ooh.
So
juicy.
very excited about that. You ready to get into it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Before we do, I need you to know that I'm just going to be picturing in my head the mining town attraction from Scooby-Doo.
Honestly, from what I've researched, it fits.
The children yearn for the mines.
The children. Okay.
The Coolsville mines.
Coolsville mines. Okay. Before we get started, there is a trigger warning.
This story contains infant death and discussions of suicide.
Okay. So, all of that being said, today we are going to talk about the historic Goldfield Hotel in Goldfield, Nevada.
That name sounds a little on the nose.
Just a little bit. When I was looking at it, it's like on the corner of like Gold Avenue. Like, it was I was like, okay, go girl, give us nothing. Like, I was like, all right.
Like, we're going to call it what it is. We came here for gold, and that's what it is.
It is the town. So, the Goldfield Hotel is described as a historic, opulent, and very haunted hotel.
Sign me up.
Immediately.
Yep. My two favorite things. Opulence and ghosts.
Ghosts. Fuck the hotel. Just opulence.
Yeah.
Incredible. Construction started in 1907 and did not conclude until 1908, which it is important that those were gold rush years.
Yeah.
It is also, and this is kind of important and we'll get to it later, it is currently closed and being renovated as a luxury property.
Like still a hotel or like a McMansion type deal? What's a luxury property?
From what I've been able to research, like, you will be able to stay there. To my understanding, that most of it will be attraction based. Okay. Kind of think like a Whitehall. Like, you can go do a tour. You can go see it.
Gotcha.
It is on the Historic Registry in Nevada, the National Registry of Historic Places. So they can't do too much to it. They still have to honor what it is as a building. So from my understanding, it will be like, you can take tours, you can...
Are they going to do ghost tours?
They are going to do ghost tours.
Okay.
So, and similar to Waverly Hills, they're going to do an overnight ghost tour. So, spooky. Spooky.
I have a feeling that it will be nicer to spend the night there
than Waverly Hills.
Yeah.
100%.
Like, have an actual bed, Yeah. Electricity.
Yeah. So, I'm glad you brought up electricity.
Oh, okay.
Because I mentioned its opulence. In that time, the hotel featured 154 rooms, each with its own bathroom, telephone, and electric lighting.
1908, and every single room had indoor plumbing.
Every single room.
Wow.
Yep. And
the gold was good.
The gold was very good. It's also mentioned specifically that the lobby was mahogany paneled and featured crystal chandeliers, and the building itself had an elevator.
That is mahogany. Sorry.
You have to leave that in, but you have to cut out my laugh.
No, the laugh is staying in.
Jesus Christ.
If the bad joke stays in, the laugh stays
Honestly,
in.
I just have to start like reacting like a normal adult. It's fine.
You want me to cut the laugh and then it'll be like
It'll be like the joke didn't land.
Jordan made a horrible joke and got no reaction.
It's fine. You know what? Fair.
Okay, so lovely lobby.
Lovely mahogany paneling.
You know I love some woodwork.
I do know that. So, I should have mentioned we're going to start with like a brief overview of the property, like we normally do, some history. So, unfortunately, with the decline in the mining boom around 1940, it fell into disrepair.
So here's a question.
Yes.
Who was staying in this massive, expensive hotel?
That is a great question.
Because I presume not the miners.
So, actually, several mining companies from other places would send their miners there to mine Nevada gold. Uh-huh. And so, technically, yes.
Put them up in that expensive hotel?
A lot of miners were staying in the hotel.
Wow, okay.
Talk about that corporate money.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you think about it, the gold was good.
Yeah.
I did read somewhere that it wasn't a traditional, like, pay for your stay kind of situation, that there were agreements made between companies and the hotel owner, whom is a very bad man, and we will get into him in just a moment.
Okay.
That he would take a portion of the gold that was mined.
Okay. So he puts them up and he gets a cut of their profits.
Correct.
Gotcha.
So it wasn't a traditional, like, hi, this is the Holiday Inn and I am going to pay for my stay. It was, I'm going to go break my back in a mine and you're going to get most of it. Mm-hmm. So.
But you get a nice, lovely bath all to yourself.
And electric lighting. Mm-hmm. And God, you can use that telephone. So, there are two parts that caused problems in the history of the hotel.
Only two, okay.
Only two, which is kind of a shocker. Mm-hmm. In 1923, a fire destroyed most of Goldfield, like the whole town.
That checks out, yep. Bunch of dry wood.
Yeah. The mahogany family.
No.
The hotel survived.
Okay.
There was only some minor damage to the outside of the building.
Oh, okay.
There was some siding that had melted, and there was one specific account. There was a woman that had mentioned coming into the hotel, and candles that were on the inside of the windowsill had melted because there was so much heat coming in from the outside.
Yeah.
But
do we know if this building, like, was it a brick building? Stone, wood.
So the building itself was primarily brick, which is presumably why
it survived.
The building was spared. Okay. Absolutely. The next major thing to happen was obviously the decline of gold in 1940. Mm-hmm.
I can't believe it. Now, granted, I'm from the East, and so I don't think about the gold rush that much.
Often.
Yeah. But I can't believe that it lasted that long.
Right.
I always thought it was like a period of like 10 years in the 1880s.
No. No, damn near 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So, do you know Zach Bagans?
I know of him, and I have seen one special of his.
Okay.
From that house in Ohio.
That's crazy that it wasn't.
It was not an episode of his show.
He went to Waverly Hills. That's what's crazy to me. No, anyway, so Zach Bagans is the host of Ghost Adventures.
Yeah.
And a pretty famous paranormal investigator.
Oh, for sure. Because he also owns that museum.
In Las Vegas.
Yeah, he owns like half of the haunted, he owns
world's scariest shit. The
Dybbuk box,
yeah.
What's the doll's name? Patty, I think is it Patty the doll?
I have no idea.
I don't know. Well, he's got like a lot of very famous haunted artifacts.
I know that I'm fairly certain that there's an agreement, like if Annabelle were to ever change hands.
Oh yeah, does he like kind of own her now?
No, I think this is crazy. I think Annabelle is owned by the Warren Family Trust. Okay. Because trusts never die. That's like how they work. Like your trustees can die and pass on, but they'll just continue. So, but I think there's like an agreement somewhere. I read online that if
he's like
Annabelle
the foster dad.
Yeah, basically. If Annabelle were to ever like need to go live with the stepdad, it goes to Zach Bagans, which is crazy. So Zach, talking to him like we're on a first name basis.
Yeah.
Zach has gone multiple times to the Goldfield Hotel.
Okay.
It is often referred to as a portal to the underworld.
Of course.
And has very confidently been revered as one of the scariest places on Earth.
And I have never heard of it.
Yeah. I am going to give you just a little bit more background.
Okay.
The reason that I didn't give it to you up front is because it makes more sense going into the next part of our story.
Okay.
So the man behind the hotel, George Wingfield.
The man that we're not going to like.
Fuck that man.
Okay. Fuck George Winfield.
Literally. I'm so upset. And the more I read about him, the more I got pissed off. And what's really annoying is he was known as a wealthy banker.
Yeah.
Traditionally my favorite people. I love bankers.
That's a bold statement.
No, listen, you know me. I love banks. I love credit unions. I love the finance world. Some of the smartest people I know are bankers. Fuck this man.
Yeah, like modern bankers with, federal protections and stuff.
No, I agree.
Not back in the day bankers.
No, I agree. But, like, seeing that was his title, I was like, I'm going to like this guy. Boy, was I wrong. Mm-hmm. Boy, was I wrong. So, he was a wealthy banker and the joint owner of the booming Goldfield Consolidated Mines Company.
That's a mouthful.
It is. But remember, he was taking basically microtransactions from all of these miners and the companies that were sending them.
Yeah.
Obviously, again, with other boom towns, the gold dried up and then the hotel was sold. It went through a series of owners, including the U.S. Army. One of the articles that I was reading in my research came from Travel Nevada, which normally I wouldn't use a source like that, but it's actually run by, like, the Nevada Board of Tourism. So I was like, you know what? That feels okay.
I got a lot of my research on the last episode from the Cleveland city government website.
Incredible. Okay. So, like, we know. So the hotel went through a series of owners, including the U.S. government. It was owned by the Army during World War II.
There was 150 rooms.
154.
Yeah. A lot of rooms for your soldiers.
A lot of space, yeah. And then after that, it was sold to a private owner, which there is no information on. It's everywhere that I found was just a private owner who then sank millions of dollars in renovations in the 80s.
Lots of pink shag carpeting.
I'm guessing. But the weird part is, and this was specifically weird, the hotel never opened during that time for business.
So it was a money laundering front.
That's what I was thinking.
Interesting.
Then, in 2003, it was purchased by Red Roberts, who did little to change the property. It was then passed down to his son.
Roberts the Jr.
Yeah, Red Roberts Jr. So that's a little bit about, where the hotel is now, ownership-wise. But we're going to jump all the way back to the beginning and talk about George.
Okay.
So, being the owner of the Goldfield Consolidated Mines Company, you can imagine that makes him a pretty wealthy individual.
Yeah.
And what do men with power often do? Nothing legal. This is ironically also from the Travel Nevada article, which is hilarious to me. Okay, George. George had a mistress.
Of course, only
Hang
one?
on. George was married. Let's start there.
Yeah.
Married with children. George had a mistress. Her name was Elizabeth Walker. Elizabeth is also said to be one of the permanent residents of the hotel.
Gotcha.
People have actually interacted with Elizabeth to this day.
Like
because there are some
her ghost?
Yes.
Okay.
There are some stories from the construction companies that I've found. It's also said that Elizabeth got pregnant at some point, and this is the story of room 109.
Okay.
Room 109 was George's room. It was said that he often had fights with his wife and would stay frequently at the hotel.
Okay, so his family did not live in the hotel.
His family did not live in the hotel.
Okay.
They had a property. I'm assuming it was a house. That was not the important part of the story. It was just they did not live on site.
The early 1900s version of a McMansion.
Correct. So it's often said that he would go and stay at the hotel. And there was one point that I was researching and somebody had said essentially it was not a good day if he was coming in after 6 p.m. And I was like, that's insane to me that all of these miners are literally exhausted from working all day in the mines and they have to worry about George. Like, you gotta be kidding me. So, Elizabeth gets pregnant. And
From George.
By George.
Yes.
By George. In order to protect his marriage, he paid her to stay away.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was the first thing he did.
Yeah.
However, he got freaked out that she, even though he paid her, that she, like, something was going to come out.
Yeah.
He was afraid of being exposed.
Yeah.
So
Or
what
like
does...
extorted or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The real Hamilton scenario. So what does this man do?
Murder.
You wish.
No, I don't.
He chains her to the radiator of room 109.
Oh my god. Okay.
He...
Here we go.
Yeah. I was reading an account from someone who knew George at the time, supposedly. I mean, obviously this was from like the 1920s.
Yeah.
So like, who knows how accurate that is. But it was said that he had consulted a doctor on how much food she would need to live, but while starving the baby. So at first, he was trying just to kill the child.
Yeah. Like force a miscarriage.
Like, essentially. Then, when he figured out that that wasn't going to work, she was chained to the radiator. There are multiple accounts saying that she cried for hours and hours on end.
Yeah, as you would.
Right? I was like, what else are you going to do?
Screaming for help in a hotel full of people.
Yes. Then, once he realized that the baby was not going to die, not like that anyway, he kept her chained to the radiator and gave her enough food and water to sustain her throughout the pregnancy. And then when the baby was born, she gave birth to that child chained to the radiator.
She was chained to that radiator for 9 months.
9 at least. Then she disappears. The baby is born and there's no other record.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah.
What about the baby?
They're both gone.
Both.
The rumor, I hate this part. The rumor is that she and her baby were thrown into a mine shaft. Because what would happen is they would mine the shaft and then they would just move on to the next one.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, America's covered in empty mine shafts.
Yes. And he had access to all of them. So the rumor is that he threw his mistress and their child down a mine shaft.
So, okay. So obviously, this is all speculation.
Correct. That is a rumor. But there is no written record of what happened.
Doesn't make sense to me. Like, why keep somebody for months on end, like, dealing with that headache, dealing with that, like, her screaming and that on your reputation, food, all of that, and then wait until the baby is born to just, like, this is horrible, but, you know, if I'm thinking like a murderer.
Correct.
Save yourself all of that time and headache and just kill her before all of that.
Yeah. I don't know, because I had a similar thought when I was researching it. My thought process is, so, like, I mean, if you have a baby, you know, you can always be like, that baby looks like that man. So part of me was like, oh, if she doesn't have the baby, like if he had been successful in killing the baby and then he let her go, it would be a prostitute's word against his, one of the wealthiest mine owners in the city.
Yeah, but like, if people could hear her screaming, okay.
I don't know.
I guess we'll never know, but
fuck George.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's also said to have been a heavy pipe smoker, an old school tobacco pipe. So on several, whether it be Ghost Adventures, you know, other paranormal investigators that have gone in, several people have reported a very heavy, very thick tobacco smell. And a lot of people equate that to George because he would walk around with his pipe.
Yeah.
So that's one of the most prominent figures at the hotel, obviously. Another one is Elizabeth. It's often said that people are interacting with her, like I said, to this day. So they are not opening room 109.
Okay, probably for the best.
Right. In everything that I've read, room 109 is going to be, like, no one, from what I understand, will ever be able to rent that room. Maybe a ghost tour.
Like, they're not going to brick it up, but they're not going to leave it open to the public.
Correct, yeah. So those two are the most prominent figures. It's also said that you can hear her crying, which makes sense. I mean, if she cried against those walls for 9 months, of course you can still hear her crying.
Yeah.
So there's also a very, very dark tension. In one account, like a paranormal investigator, had smelled tobacco as they came into the hotel, and then had heard her crying, and then said that this like dark energy washed over them, like that they just felt like this oppressive feeling.
Yeah.
And that was terrifying for them.
And that's not just in room 109. That's the whole hotel.
That's the whole hotel. Because obviously George was walking free.
Yeah. I imagine like if other people staying in the hotel could hear her, they've also just inundated the place with feelings of guilt, you know?
100%. Imagine being the people in 108 and 110.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. So there are 2 other main spirits. One of them is known as the Stabber.
Okay. Succinct.
A jump. I know. An escalation. And the only thing I can find out about them is that they're said to randomly attack guests.
Oh.
In one story that I read, someone felt what they could only describe as the plunge of a knife.
Oh my God.
Like that they had been punched in the stomach. And
can you imagine getting to say that you have been stabbed by a ghost?
I know. He was like, it was a searing pain. I thought I was dying. He physically like doubled over.
Ugh.
It was awful. Ugh. And then there's not much information about this one.
The 4th ghost?
Sorry, there are 5.
Okay.
There's a woman who is said to have hung herself in the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't find any real information on that.
Yeah.
It's just a death that was attributed to the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And then a man who was staying at the hotel with his family left in the middle of the night, like exited the room, went to the roof and jumped.
Mm.
But there was no, and I'm not saying you ever know someone's going to kill themselves, but like people will be like, oh, they were sad or they were going through a rough time.
Yeah.
In everything that I read about this gentleman, it was just
like nobody saw it coming.
Yeah, exactly. And his family didn't know until the next morning.
Ooh.
Yeah. The only other ghosts that are, I guess, prevalent are a series of minor ghosts.
Okay. Minor 49er.
Literally.
Here in
M-I-N-E-R. Not M-I-N-O-R.
Oh.
You know, minors.
We all knew. Minor 49er of Coolsville. We all knew.
Coolsville. We should watch that movie after this.
That's Monsters Unleashed, though. That's not the first one.
So
I'm going to shut up about Scooby-Doo now.
No, honestly, it's my favorite thing. The last thing are just the minor ghosts. So the miners that were put up in the hotel, obviously some of which lost their lives in the mines.
Yeah.
And so this was a really hard part to read, too. Their belongings, if someone died in the mines, their belongings were put into essentially trash bags.
Yeah.
And left at the front desk. Because the hotel was so popular that they could not afford to wait for the families to be able to travel to the mine town, to Goldfield, to pick up their belongings from the hotel room.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? It's like you've lost this loved one and, you know, God forbid they were on a work trip. And then all of a sudden you're like, hey, you have to come pick up their things and you get handed a trash bag.
So, not to be callous, and obviously I can't speak to every situation, but that kind of is what happens when people die still. You have to like wait to get their belongings from the police.
What?
Yeah. Like they'll take like their ID and their phone or their bag or whatever, and then you have to like wait to get it back from them.
That's awful.
Yeah. Because they have to like prove it's not foul play and
yeah. No, I mean I guess that makes sense. Yeah. I would just be so like, if I had the chance to be the last place that one of my loved ones was, and that like chance was ripped away. Yeah. I just think that would make it worse.
I mean, it's business to the people who have to deal with it every day.
That's true. And to the hotel owner, I'm sure it was just...
time is money for him.
Yeah, literally. Time is money and my mistress is dying. Like, Jesus Christ.
And, like, obviously, I'm not trying to say, like, that happens every time somebody dies. But, like, that does still happen is what I am saying.
No, for sure. And it's just...
it is sad. Yeah.
It is sad. But
and then you think, like, well, how many people, like, how many of these family members even were able to come, like, make the trip and come get their stuff?
Because, like, if you think about it, a lot of times people who were in the mines were sending the money back home.
Exactly.
So these were probably poor families. How many people left the last parts of their loved ones in that hotel in Nevada?
And how long did they wait before throwing it out?
Yeah. So that is the story of the Goldfield Hotel.
Okay. So you said there's 5 ghosts.
There are 5 ghosts. So George.
Yeah.
Elizabeth.
And people smell them and hear them.
Smell them and hear them. The woman
the
who
stabber
jumped
is
off.
running around stabbing people.
The stabber.
Do people see the woman who committed suicide?
No.
That's
it's
probably
just
for the best.
Right?
Or the gentleman who committed suicide.
So there were a couple of mentions of seeing someone on the roof. Not necessarily in what I would call the jumping position, like near the edge. But there are stories in which people have mentioned, like, oh, I remember seeing someone on the roof.
Yeah, when there shouldn't have been.
Yeah, technically.
Spooky.
Spooky.
Here's a dark question.
Oh, I'm ready.
Do people ever hear a baby crying?
Not that I found.
Okay.
Because that's what I was thinking. Because if she was forced to go through childbirth, chained to a radiator in a hotel room, what I can only imagine was on the floor, surely. And I mean, babies cry when they're born.
Maybe that's what happened. Maybe he didn't murder them. Maybe they've died in childbirth.
Maybe.
From an extremely traumatic childbirth.
Maybe. Because I can only assume there weren't doctors there.
Absolutely not.
Arguably, what if he wasn't there?
Yeah, and she was malnourished.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, I'm not trying to assign logic to a murderer, but
I think it helps if you can. One of the things that I read was that if you can sort of rationalize why, it makes it less scary than thinking that people can do that for no reason.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it doesn't make sense that he would keep her alive for that long.
Yeah.
So it makes more sense to me if theoretically they both did unfortunately die in childbirth, and then he just got rid of the evidence after the fact. And then that would make sense how nobody saw or heard anything.
Yeah. I wanted to find, like, the stories that people don't think about. Like, I was, like, looking and I was, like, housekeeper stories. Like, like, what did that look like going in afterwards?
God, yeah.
Like, but unfortunately, like, there was nothing. And that's why it is so hard to think about, like, that's the most prevalent rumor, is that he, like, threw them down a mine shaft. But you're right. I mean, maybe they did just die and then he disposed of the bodies.
Yeah.
But
it's the scary part is not ever knowing.
Correct. Yeah. And like I said, it's one of those things that it's like, if somebody can just do that
and get away with it.
Yeah. Like, put your hackles up a little bit, you know?
Yeah, no, it's disgusting.
So,
ugh.
Yeah. That is the Goldfield Hotel in Goldfield, Nevada.
Well, thanks. I hated it.
Yeah, I figured you did. I don't know. I was excited to tell you because, like, history, you know? But it's something. Why can't there ever be any fun ghost stories?
I feel like last week was pretty fun.
Last week was kind of fun. You're right.
Not for Aaron.
Not for Aaron.
But the funeral home was fun.
Aaron listened to the story. This is a fun little quote for the podcast.
Yes.
Aaron listened to the story. And at first, he was like, I was really, like, panicked to hear about it.
No, I get it.
Because he was like, that was an experience. Like, I went through that experience and I relived that. Yeah. And he was like, I didn't think I was going to listen to the podcast. And I was like, understandable.
I would not blame you.
Right. I was like, you get a pass for that one episode. Literally no other episodes, though. And he was like, something about telling the story felt so calm. Oh. He was like, if sharing that story in a space that someone didn't immediately make him feel crazy.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And I was like, no, that's absolutely what we're doing it for. And he actually wanted me to thank you for your reaction. Because he was like, Jordan could have very easily been like, no, that man is crazy.
No, absolutely. No. Aaron, you are not. And I well, obviously I don't get it. I hope I never actually get it.
I hope you never get it.
But no, that makes perfect sense. And like, it's no longer bottled up.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Like, this is how we heal. This is how we get to move on. So I'm glad. I once again appreciate you sharing it.
Yeah. So I just a fun little tidbit.
Oh, well, thank you. Okay. Well, thank you for that.
It feels weird to say you're welcome because I didn't like it nearly as much as you did.
But thank you for sharing. So we have a submitted story once again from Brandon. And this one is titled Nevada Silver Rush.
We love.
Instead of the Gold Rush. Seems like that's all that's going on in Nevada. Rushing around for precious metals. Okay. So let's get to it. So he says, my family often went to Las Vegas to visit my aunt and grandmother. Now, all my life, I had seen what appeared to be wagons in the distance on the way there. Fast forward to my senior year of high school. I decided to take a senior trip with 2 of my friends to California. Quite a drive.
Yeah.
That's an insane decision, but okay.
I mean, I flew into Las Vegas and drove the additional 6 hours to Anaheim.
Insane.
Brandon and I lived very close to each other in Utah.
Mm-hmm.
It was 2 hours, not including the time change, so it would have been an hour on the clock. But it was 2 physical hours. So that's at least an 8 to 10 hour drive, depending on where you go.
Ooh, and you're 18 years old? Okay.
Yeah, insane.
Oh, well, and then he says, of course, me being the spitting image of my father, I demanded we start driving at 4 a.m.
That makes sense.
It's a 9-hour drive from where we lived.
Got it. I was close.
Well, maybe he didn't count the time difference. We don't know.
Maybe.
He probably did. I don't know. Okay. By the time we passed Las Vegas, the sun was just beginning to rise, and there was light traffic on the road. We start getting closer to an old abandoned silver mine from the 1800s when I start seeing the wagons I used to always see, only much closer this time. I was thinking to myself, oh, these must be reenactments like they do at the gold mines in California. Then I just put it out of my mind as we drove for a bit. Then I see a wagon on the side of the road with some people around it. All of a sudden, one of the individuals just runs into the road in front of me, and I slam on the brakes knowing full well I couldn't stop in time.
So you just resigned to hitting this person? That's terrifying.
You gotta slow down when there's people on the side of the road.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Move over.
I go to tunnel vision just waiting for that bump of me hitting a person, only the bump never came. When I look behind me, the wagon and the people were no longer there. In fact, none of the wagons I had seen were there anymore. How many wagons were you seeing?
1 little, 2 little, 3 little wagons.
Okay, almost done. I proceeded to pull into the next stop and wake up one of my companions as they were both asleep through the whole thing.
Of course.
Yeah.
Spooky shit never happens when people can see it.
No. The ghosts are always trying to gaslight you.
Literally. Gaslight, gatekeep, ghost.
They're like, oh, you thought you saw us? Nobody
Wrong.
else did.
Wrong. And we're going to frame you for murder.
That's insane. Well, I'm glad you didn't hit anybody.
Yeah, I'm glad the bump, as you called it, never came.
Yeah.
Jeez, Louise.
Ookie. That used to be something that Danny and I did on road trips.
Almost hit people?
No. Let me finish. Was like if one of us thought that we like saw something and we weren't sure, if we were like, did you see that person walking on the side of the road? Then we would look in the rear view mirror because
ghosts don't exist in a rear view?
I don't know. We were told at one point
That's
that
vampires.
if like you could see something with your own eyes, but then it wouldn't show up in a mirror.
Okay.
I don't know. That's just what we were told. Okay.
That's insane.
Mirrors are weird, man.
Mirrors are weird.
We talk about mirrors every single episode.
Every single episode, a mirror has happened. There's a mirror in my story.
We need to rename the title of this podcast.
Everybody's got a mirror.
It all comes back to mirrors.
Correct. Jeez, second podcast, when we get rich and famous. That's what we start talking about.
Well, thank you, Brandon.
Yeah. First of all, I have not, thankfully, ever hit anyone.
Yeah, let's keep it that way.
Yeah, I'm actually hoping not to ever hit anyone. But I can't imagine, like, I don't know. I recently got in a car accident, and I will say that there was a moment that I knew I was going to hit the barrier.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah, we should elaborate that you did not hit anybody.
I did not hit anyone.
You slid in.
I slid into the concrete barrier.
Yeah.
To the concrete, like, median divider.
Yeah, because of snow.
Yes, thankfully, no one was hurt. Not even me. I'm okay. Just a little sore. But there was a moment, like, where I realized that I no longer had control of my vehicle, and I was like, I'm going to hit this barrier.
Oh, yeah, it's a horrible feeling.
It is, yeah. And you brace for it. And so, like, I know that feeling, but I can only imagine that it was 1,000 times different when there is a human life on the other side.
Yeah.
Like, I think I would have felt much heavier if it was like, I'm going to hit
Yeah, I don't even want to imagine that.
Yeah, insane. Crazy business. Thanks, Brandon.
Yeah.
We appreciate you.
All right, now you have a story.
I do.
A personal experience.
Personal experience. This one was me. Not even my mother this time. This one was full on me. Mm-hmm. So, do you know about the Clown Motel? That was a serious question. I would like to state for the record that I was being serious.
That might be the most insane thing somebody's ever asked me with a straight face.
Would you rather me ask it with a gay face?
I would rather you put a full face of clown makeup on.
Got it. The clown filter, like.
Do you have a moment to talk about our clown motel?
Coming to
Anyway,
Broadway
no.
2026.
To answer your question, no, I don't believe I know about the clown motel.
Okay. The world famous clown motels.
Okay, rub it in.
I'm so sorry. I'm serious. I'll show you pictures. So there is a clown motel in Nevada, and it is in Tonopah, I think is how you say it.
Okay.
I didn't know, and I was there. But it's actually, this is about one of your favorite things, and it's kind of why I'm excited to tell you the story. It is about the Tonopah Cemetery.
The who to what?
The Tonopah Cemetery.
Okay.
So the town cemetery.
Yeah.
The cemetery is also famous. So, two things. The Clown Motel is not...
I'm assuming there's not a motel in the cemetery.
No, it's but they're right next to each other.
Insane. Okay.
And there is still a Clown Motel. It is still a motel. Active, operating.
Why is it called... Okay, keep talking.
Do you want to see the photos?
Please give me more context.
So, looking at the website for the Clown Motel, because they have like a history page.
Thank God.
Yeah. So it talks about like Tonopah and like the city. It's a silver town, technically. And the story, and I am reading you this word for word because I cannot possibly make this up. The town was founded by a man named Jim Butler after he accidentally stumbled upon silver-rich ore in Tonopah after throwing a stone at a donkey in frustration and realizing that it was unusually heavy. I swear to God.
Yeah, that's some clown shit right there.
Those are the words. So
he used his silver money to start a clown hotel.
No, that's just how the town started.
Oh, okay.
So the cemetery was built next door to the Clown Motel, and this is such a wild time. So Tonopah is known for the Tonopah Plague.
Okay.
So...
What a thing to be known for.
Yeah, and they don't know what it was.
Oh, unidentified plague.
Unidentified plague. The cemetery was built to allow people to be buried who died from the Tonopah Plague, as well as a mine fire. It's also very important to note that Sheriff Thomas Logan, who was shot while trying to save people in a brothel.
Oh my God.
Which feels like a lie. It feels like he was in the brothel and got shot.
Yeah.
And people were like, nah, he was trying to save those people. But actually, he was murdered by his wife, who followed him into the brothel and shot him in the back.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And she
I
only
shot
served...
the sheriff. But I did not shoot the deputy.
She only served 1 year in prison due to the significant abuse that he'd inflicted upon her.
All right.
So honestly, shoot the sheriff.
Yeah.
Like,
free yourself, girl.
shoot the sheriff.
You know it's bad if the jury is like, no, we get it.
No, yeah, understandable.
And not even the jury, but like all of the arresting officers and everything. Like if they couldn't convince the jury.
Correct.
If the evidence was that stacked, it was pretty bad.
Yeah. I feel like they gave her a year because they were like, well, we have to give her something. She shot somebody.
Yeah.
Like,
Public endangerment, maybe.
Felonious mischief. Which is a real charge, by the way.
I believe it.
So, one of the people who died in the Belmont mine fire was named Clarence David. Mm-hmm. There's not anything really special about Clarence other than the fact that he had an extensive clown collection.
What kind of clowns was he collecting?
Think like circus clowns. Just like
human beings.
Clown dolls,
Okay, dolls. That's the answer I was looking for.
Everything. Clown paraphernalia.
Paraphernalia, okay.
Yeah, so like photos.
Not people. Not real live clowns.
Not people. Although apparently he had a clown at every one of his birthday parties until he died.
Well, I would hope so, yes.
He died in 1942.
Okay. That's like early days of clown. Of like modern clown.
Well, yeah. In 1985, so 43 years later, his children, Leona and Leroy, opened a motel next to the cemetery where their father was buried, and they displayed all 150 of their father's clown collection.
Just in the lobby or in the rooms?
It started in the lobby. I will say that when I visited, there is a separate building now that is the, like, check-in area that is also a museum.
Okay.
A museum-ish. There's just a lot of clown shit in there. So, to give you some, like, explanation. So, like, when you pull into this place, fully on the right, cemetery. Straight ahead, it's, like, the vacancy sign, the reception, like, where you go to, like, book a room. And then on the left side, it is a freestanding clown motel. And it looks like a clown motel.
What is it? Is it painted pink?
It's painted multiple colors.
I love that, though.
I'm going to show you a picture because I think that you're not going to get the full experience if I do not.
Okay, so okay, hang on.
So to explain to the viewers what the listeners, this is the reception area.
I was going to say that wasn't your room.
No. We didn't stay there. This is
Gotcha.
This is where they displayed all of his collection.
Yes. And that is a collection of clown things.
And it has grown. That is a 7 foot tall. It had the ability to stand.
Oh my God.
It was not standing when we were in there.
Yeah.
It was sitting. But there were pictures from, like, the history of the motel. It stands. And it's actually kind of spooky.
It's like Puddle's pity party height.
One of the stories that I read when I was, like, researching, because I wanted to give some history about the motel. Because I had been there and I didn't really, I'm going to be honest, Ghost Adventures went there. And I was like, hey, we're in Nevada and I have to see this ghost motel. No, one of the stories that I read after I was like, I have to go to this motel, was that the owner at the time, who I think is still the current owner, walked in and the clown was just standing. And it, like, takes some to do. Like, there's a pole basically that, like, supports
so is it a dummy or like an animatronic?
It is a weighted dummy.
And it was just freestanding.
It was just freestanding.
Good night.
Yeah. I said that I would have walked out and no one would have stayed in the motel that day. They are the chillest people you've ever met.
You know, I think you do have to build up a pretty thick skin,
right,
when you work in a building full of clown memorabilia
all the time. It was insane, to be quite honest.
That's brave, and I love that for them.
Yeah, I was not that brave. So I'm visiting with my family, whom you've met, and my family, I will say, are not traditionally, like, believers.
Yeah, skeptical.
They are very skeptical. I mean, my mom has her moments, but traditionally skeptical. So we're inside, and, you know, my dad and my brothers are just making fun of, like, the fact that it's clowns and, like, arguably being so disrespectful. And I was like, please don't bring that bad mojo jojo in here.
Like, I can't believe that Caroline brought us here. What are we doing here
Literally.
with all these clowns?
Like, what the hell? They knew I was weird. So we get inside, and I'm walking around, and I, of course, am, like, separating myself from them because, like, I am truly enamored. I'm like, I want to know the history of this place. And ironically, they had told us that we could have seen one of the rooms, except every single one of them was booked. And I was so upset.
Incredible.
I was so upset. They were all booked and there were no cars in the parking lot. Which, granted, it was like
weird,
mid to late afternoon.
Still.
So I was like, what the hell?
Not one person taking a little jet lag nap?
No. Not in the clown motel, apparently. So around the back side of the clown, there is a mirror.
The 7-foot tall clown.
Because there's like a shelf behind it and there's a mirror on the other side. So I remember walking around and I didn't notice the mirror at first. I was walking and I was looking at the back wall and I remember.
And then you turned around and you said, "Who's that hottie?"
Literally. I wish that's how it went. This would be a much less traumatic experience. So I remember turning around and, like, full body, like, gasp.
Yeah.
Because it was like have you ever seen a photo of yourself that just looks off?
Yes.
You're like, something's wrong here. That doesn't look like me. It looked like somebody had taken a photo of me and it just felt wrong.
Yeah.
Like, it was like the first time I was like, that is not me. And I honestly thought at first I was like, that is a coincidence that there is a photo that looks so much like me and still somehow so wrong. And then I moved and I realized it was a mirror. And I was like, that is fucked.
Yeah.
Like,
disrespectful.
What? Literally. I, like, take my little moment and I'm like, okay. And I don't know why. I think it's the Ouija board rule. But I was like, I'm going to say goodbye to you right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
it's also what you should do when you leave a cemetery.
I didn't know that. But it's like, you should distance yourself from what's going on.
Yeah.
So I remember physically being like, goodbye to myself. I was like, I do not claim this energy. Like, I am walking away. And I'm going to call it the movie Walk Back. And I was like stepping backwards and I forgot that there was a wall behind me. And then I hit the shelf and then I jumped because I like hit the shelf.
Yeah.
And then I like skirted around the corner. And I was like, all right, cool. And my family's like, what is wrong with you? And I was like, nothing. I'm fine. Everything is so cool. So I like keep walking and I'm like just generally like unhinged. And all of a sudden I remember getting so angry. And I don't know what it was. I remember like my brother had made a dumb joke and I was like, you're stupid.
Yeah.
You're being fucking dumb. But I remember I got like irrationally angry. Deep in my chest, heavy angry. And I was like, I need to leave here.
Yeah.
So I step outside. And I was like, where do you go in the parking lot with no cars? To the cemetery that's next door.
Yeah, sure, why not? That'll calm you down.
Literally. So there are, and I don't think they were in the photo, but there is a fence now.
Yeah.
So it's like not meant to, it's only basically meant to keep large animals in and out. Like it's not doing anything to keep like guests or anything out. So I go and I remember like leaning on the fence and I'm like trying to catch my breath because I'm like genuinely upset.
It's like pissed off.
I was angry, like seething. And all of a sudden I feel this pull and I'm like, I should walk through that cemetery.
I get the same feeling every time I
know.
come to a cemetery.
I know you do.
But that's just me. That's not the ghost.
So I'm like leaning on the fence and I'm like, I need to walk through the cemetery. I felt so drawn. And not in the like, oh, I'm interested, I should walk through this.
Yeah. Not my way.
No.
But a
like,
spooky way.
Like like I was like, I need to be in there. Like the pull from like your chest. You know what I mean? Like you're like.
I don't, but okay.
Oh, it was weird. So I like push off the fence. And I remember I was like walking because I had passed the entrance to like go to the side of the fence basically. And I remember like standing, looking up because there's a sign now that says Tonopah Cemetery. And I was like, okay. And I'm looking and I'm like, I'm gonna, I don't know why, but I was like preparing myself to cross that threshold. Which was super weird because it was like my body was like, no, you need to do this. But my brain was still like, I don't know. It was a weird moment in my body.
Yeah.
And I remember like, and this is the weirdest part for me. I remember I'm like, okay. And I take a breath and I'm going to take a step. And then my mom calls my name and they were coming out of the museum. And then I got like this cold chill. And I turned around.
In the middle of the desert.
In the middle of the desert. It was like 110 degrees. And I got this like cold sweat basically. And I walked back to the car.
Didn't go in the cemetery.
I did not go in the cemetery. And arguably, do you ever have those moments where you're like, I could have died?
No.
Never, not once?
Well,
I don't feel like that's true.
Maybe at the lake, but...
Oh, you have to look back on the lake and be like, if we stayed, we would have died.
I don't know what would have happened. I try not to think about it.
No, that's fair. This is one of those moments that I was like, surely if I had crossed that threshold, something would have happened. They would not have known why, but I would not have come out of that cemetery. So,
spooky.
Yeah. Spooky. Spooky.
So, like, did the pull, like, disappear?
Immediately.
When? What was
when my mom called my name. And
honestly, you weren't angry anymore?
No.
Well, that's good.
I feel like it was like a tether.
Yeah.
Like it was like I don't know. This sounds weird to say, but it was like one of those moments where like I didn't feel connected to anything at that moment.
Yeah.
Other than maybe the cemetery. I don't know. My mom called my name and it was just like, it was like she had reached out for me and like pulled me back.
Yeah.
You know?
So here's a question. Do you think, I don't know a better way to put this. Do you think that like you got possessed by something?
I don't know.
Like, did it feel like you like had like an out of body kind of moment? Did it feel like something else was in there with you trying to get you into the cemetery? Or was it just kind of like something else was taking advantage of your vulnerable state to be like, hey, come here?
I didn't feel like there was something else.
Okay.
You know? But I also only remember the anger and then like the pull and the cold sweat. I'm sure I had 1,000 thoughts in between those feelings. But I don't know. It just felt like it was if anything, I feel like it might have been the taking advantage of. Yeah. Like I was already having a weird moment after the mirror.
After the funhouse clown mirror.
Correct. And it was, I will say, I asked my parents, it was not marketed as a funhouse mirror. Mm-hmm. It was just a mirror.
You were like, hey, will you guys go check out that mirror?
Literally, I sent my little brother. The one that absolutely would. So, yeah, no, it was spooky. It's the weirdest I've ever felt to this day.
Well, I'm glad you didn't go in the cemetery then.
You and me both.
We've never been to our local cemetery together.
We have not. We should change that.
When it gets warmer. It's too cold.
Yeah, it's too cold right now, for sure.
And it gets dark, like, as soon as work ends.
I left work at 6 p.m. the other day, and I was like, why is it midnight?
Yeah.
I was like, this is gross. Anyway, so that was Nevada.
Yeah.
I can't say that it was fun.
No, but that's... Well, I was about to say that's not why we tell ghost stories, but it very much is.
It is. I do enjoy what we're doing.
It's fun to think about the fact. Well, and there you go. I was going to say it's fun to think about the fact that it's not happening to us, but that literally did. So
I will say most of the stories that we've told so far have been people that we know or very, very close to us. So with that being said, send us your stories.
Yeah.
You can submit them through our email, egagspodcast@gmail.com, or on our website, egagspodcast.com. Or through any of our direct messages on social media.
Mm-hmm. And I know that there are people listening because we can
see that.
And I wanted to give a little shout out. Last week we had somebody in Finland listen to all of our episodes.
All of them?
All the 4 that are out, yeah.
That is incredible.
They binged them all.
I love that.
And there's somebody in Indiana and Alabama.
Exciting. I know we've got a couple Ohio listeners.
This week, Minnesota.
That's exciting. Mm-hmm. That's a new one for us. Yeah. We should get a little map and start crossing off people that have listened. Wouldn't that be so cute?
That would be cute, yeah. There's people listening from all over, but those are the ones where like I can tell that it's one person at least one person who is listening to everything. Yeah. So if that is you, thank you very much.
Absolutely. Also, message us on social media. We would love to know who you are.
I want to talk about ghosts. That's why we're doing this.
Yeah. And we've mentioned it before, but we can do international episodes. Mm-hmm. If there's something that your city, your township, or whatever you guys call it over there is known for, please let us know. We would love to go through it.
And not to sound desperate, but, share us with your friends.
Please do.
Yeah. Word of mouth is our best form of advertising.
Correct. So, I'm Caroline.
And I'm Jordan.
And this is Everybody's Got a Ghost Story.
What's yours?